Welcome to today's episode of my Dubai Builder podcast, where I talk to people who have successfully built careers, businesses, and networks here in the city. So if you're thinking about either starting your own business or expanding, or maybe even moving to Dubai, then this is the right place for you because you really learn from those who have already done it successfully. So in today's episode, I'm speaking to Leyla. So she has built 2 businesses here in Dubai, and she's sharing with us how she has built not 1 but 2 times her network. Other additional tips she is giving to everyone who is just getting started or wants to expand their businesses. Welcome to the podcast. I'm very excited to have you here today and you walking us through your journey on how you started and built your company here in Dubai. So I would love to have you share with us, how did your whole journey started, how you're currently operating, and 2 of the key points I would love to focus on in this episode to also make it tangible for others who are just getting started with building here is how did you start building your network in the city? So what are maybe, like the hidden parts which nobody knows other than going to networking events? And then also if you have joined any government programs or any kind of private communities, which you would recommend, exploring for someone just getting started. So that would be the focus of this episode. And yeah, maybe for those who don't know you, maybe you can do a quick introduction. Who are you? When did you came to Dubai? And how did your whole journey on starting your business here actually kicked off?
Sure. It's my 8th year in Dubai. And I bootstrapped my first company here. We reached $2.5 million US in annual revenue. And that was my first ever business experience. And I exited the company, and now I'm building Klaster, which is an ed tech where we train people for better communication skills. And I have 2 branches of the business. One is where we deliver actual training for public speaking courses, negotiation skills, negotiation mastery. And the other wing where we built a product, an app, and we kind of accumulated all of this training experience that we had and put it into a platform so anyone can have access at any time just using their mobile phone.
Exciting. And when did you start this journey?
Started Klaster 18 months ago.
Okay.
At first we were delivering courses manually throughout our teachers, and we had a very good demand from consultants because I think these are the people who needs to present on a daily basis, and this is basically their bread and butter.
Yeah.
So a lot of them were taking courses with us, and during that time we also got into partnership with PwC Academy, and while doing so, I saw what kind of impact our courses had on people's trajectories in their careers, in their lives. There was one student in particular, he came to us before his partner interview, and he, while already being brilliant and delivering a lot of public talks across his domain, he felt like he needed some sort of training. And we've prepped him, he made partner, and that sort of thing inspired me, like that sort of impact that you could have on somebody's and career-wise, that's trajectory defining move. And basically I thought, how can we maximize that impact and make it accessible for anyone? Because, for example, with this student in particular, we worked privately. And while it does cost some money, I don't want people to break the bank so they could learn these essential communication skills. And with technology, you could democratize access to training, to having your own public speaking coach in your pocket and make it available to anyone.
That's amazing. That's a great story, great success story. So I wonder, you mentioned your first business was in a
slightly different industries. First one was it was a tennis academy. I think you mentioned that. So now I'm of course curious, like how did you kind of change the direction of your business? If we talk about network, did some of the now clients for your new business came from the previous one, or did you had to start completely from scratch finding, you know, new clients, new partners? So maybe you can talk about more the early stages.
For the first business, like while they might seem very different, both are actually in education space. Yes, first has a lot to do with sports. It's a tennis academy, and this one is communication training. But both, I see a lot of parallels. Both are B2C, and both have a lot to do with education.
Yeah.
Here you educate people to present themselves in a better way, and here you train people and make them better at recreational sports. From the business perspective, I don't see much of a difference. Yes, the product is different, but how you structure it on the B2C side of things, like that there are a lot of similarities and a lot of systems that I was able to develop while working on this brick and mortar tennis academy. I was able to transfer it to what I'm doing with Klaster now. In terms of the network, I would say that that's the hardest truth that hit me, because I thought, okay, I'm leaving this business. We were able to grow it from basically scratch, and we bootstrapped it. And I thought that my network will be transferable, but that absolutely did not happen. And that was one of the first kind of like mistakes that I made, thinking that it would be transferable. I think with every new product, you have to kind of build your network from scratch, and this is what I had to do with Klaster. But what I realized is, instead of going straight into networking, I think once you define your product, once it actually you've got confirmation that it can deliver value, that's when your conversations at networking events, with someone who introduces you to someone, they have more substance. And I think rather than going and starting networking, you got to first work on the substance.
Yes.
And actually, the similar, like in my first business and second business, the networking effect you get from the clients you get in Dubai, it's far more valuable, because people get to experience your product, they find value in it, and the kind of clients that we get in Dubai, they are great. And one person, just one person in any field pretty much is already well connected. And if you work on not widening your network, but deepening your relationship within the existing, and especially with clients, that opens up a lot of doors.
That's great. That's great to hear. Perfect. So you basically developed the product, making it a great product or a great like service promise. And then as you enter conversations at networking events of any kind, then this basically sparked the interest, so that the conversation then and first clients came from those conversations. Is that how it kind of naturally happened, or?
I would say that the first clients came from social media or word of mouth.
Okay.
And then there is like a ripple effect that followed. But if I were to summarize, I would say that first, once you're confident that your product is great, and you've got not just you're confident in it, but you've got confirmation from clients or friends, family, fools that this product is working, then you go and network. And two, the very first type of people you're going to interact with and you should look at as a potential network is your clients.
Great. That's great advice. So for maybe your current business, Have you joined any kind of government programs, accelerators, incubators, or any other networks which really helped you grow your business?
We're licensed in DIFC, and I think they have a great variety of events and activities that's happening there. I can't say that there is like a particular event that I went to that brought in some connects or connections. Being part of it does not hurt. It's always good to stay active with different groups. But I can't say that it brings friends or partners in a way that people might expect.
Okay, so then when you're talking about clients specifically, you mentioned earlier you probably do advertisement on social media. That's where the majority of clients are right now coming from, or?
So the majority of clients comes from outreach strategies that we have for businesses. Plus, we work with a group of schools through our partnerships. And social media, I would say, makes 30% of
so you're basically
how currently it's run.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so then basically you're more focused on building partnerships with schools and corporates.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That makes sense. Yeah, because they are also then working with leaders or people who move into leadership roles who would then benefit from, let's say, public speaking courses. Okay, great. So then we have one question from our community. And the question is, what do you think people overcomplicate about building a business here in Dubai, and what do they oversimplify? So from both angles.
Great question. I think people overcomplicate the legal stuff. I think the kind of frameworks that exist in UAE, they are quite straightforward. And what I hear a lot from those who want to start business, the first thing they think of is, how do I set up the legal entity? Or how do I open up bank accounts? And I think that's like maybe third or fourth thing on your list. First, you need to make sure that people actually need what you're building. And sometimes what you are building or what you have in your head does not correlate with reality. So there is a business that you think you're building, that you think you need to build. There is a business that you're building. Then there is a business that people actually need. And I think those three need to marry. And in order for that to happen, you need to go out there and speak to potential customers and validate and test. And
that's great advice. And what do you think people oversimplify when starting a business?
They oversimplify the go-to-market strategy. They think
people are waiting for their product
to
reach them. Everyone is waiting for
once we're live, once we have our legal entity, then clients will flood in, and that's not the case.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's a great answer. Yeah, and also a fantastic question from the community. I would agree. The last question I have before we wrap up is, what are currently challenges you're facing? Something you're currently trying to unlock, where maybe the right network or the community could maybe help making an introduction.
I can't say that it's a challenge. I think it's just like a process. But I'm currently fundraising for the product that we're building. And that's what I'm working on at the moment.
Okay, that's exciting. Wonderful. So then, where can people reach out to you and learn more about you and your product? What would be the best way?
Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp. I'm active across all the platforms.
Amazing.
Any of those would work.
Perfect. And then open for partnerships, for new clients, and of course, as we heard, for some funding.
Yep.
Wonderful. Great. With that, we are closing with a high five, if you're okay. Thank you so much.